Hello. Welcome. This is Puzzle 6, free-to-play starter deck building guide for Gods Unchained. I'm going to go ahead and go in detail about how to build a deck as a free-to-play player and as a new player. So, hope you enjoy. All right, so we're going to start with the rules of making a deck. Right now, we're only going to focus about core and welcome cards, if I mention cards at all, because that as a new player, that's all we have access to as a free-to-play player, currently, kind of. So, to tell what set a card comes from, you look at the top right corner of the card, and we have core and welcome. So, to make a deck, there are only 30 cards per deck. You cannot go more, you cannot go less. Now, each deck could have a max of 2 copies per card, per unique card, for every common and every rare card. So you could have 2 common cards of Wild Hogs, you could have 2 common cards of Black Jaguar, 2 common cards of whatever rare, and with legendaries and epics, you could only have 1 unique per deck. And this is because legendary pick the hero, you pick the hero power, which can be changed during game. You're gonna want to make a deck or play a deck around it. So the first thing you want is consistency. We always draw 3 cards to mulligan from, and then you always draw a card at the start of the game. So you want your deck to have a nice even curve. And what I mean by curve is if you look on the right side of this picture, it says mana and it shows like little orange bars. And I have 10 1-drops, 11 2-drops, 4 3-drops, 4 4-drops, and 1 5-drop. And this mana curve is important for us because we want to get our turn 1 units on turn 1. We don't want a big unit turn 1 because we can't play it. And so usually these curves have a high 2 1-drop, 2-drops, 3-drops, and then it drastically starts dipping at 5 and more. And the reason for that is the mana lock mechanic. Quickly go over it, but right when you start, this is the mana lock. You have 0 mana, and then you have 1 mana, so you get 1, and then later on you get 5. And with 5 mana, 5 starts getting really wonky. So when you build a deck, you always want to keep in mind of 5. 5 you're going to be sitting at for a little bit. And if you use your hero power, you're only going to be playing 3 drops and then hero power, or 2 drops and hero power. But once you start getting to 5 or 4, you can start playing 2 cards a turn, which is important for keeping up. And then last but not least, on turn 6, only half of your mana for 6 mana is filled. And this is what I mean by once you get past 5, your 6, 7, and 8 and 9 drastically slows down. So while building a deck, we gotta keep this in mind, just because on turn 6 you only have 5 mana, and moving onwards is just really slow to get mana. There's some cards that will give you mana, and obviously there's mana gems that you could use to capitalize on. But you usually use those early game to get an early advantage and to help maintain the advantage. All right, so at the deck, you always want consistency. So as you see, 2 of many cards, preferably cards I like and just what I used. And so you stick to a theme, you make two cards of each. In this deck, it was just kind of aggro, swarm the board with a lot of little things that stay alive and attack face. Also in this game while deck building, going face and killing units is heavily favorable because you gain favor. If you look here, favor is that little weird symbol on the left where it says 0 and then that weird flower thing. So you gain favor every time you hit an opponent's face or you kill a unit. If you do not kill units, you do not get favor, and favor will help you gain card advantage. And it's something nice and something to keep in mind, but going face and killing actual units straight up will gain favor, thus giving you card advantage. And card advantage is through the favor store, and you just start picking up your big drops there. Or at least that's what I do. Or you just take away cards from your opponent so they don't have anything. Um, so this deck heavily favors actually killing stuff or going face and being aggro. It's just the way it is. So you want units that are healthy. You don't want things dying all the time because then you give your enemy favor and they get more cards and that's bad. As a new player, you're not gonna have many cards. Currently, my collection is quite low. I have 250 cards. I haven't paid for anything. I don't have any set aside from Welcome and what? Yeah, I have nothing from Genesis, nothing from Core, or I have lots of from Core and from Welcome. We always have cards from Welcome, so these are just the cards you'll have. A majority of them are pretty decent. You get a bunch of core packs at the beginning, so depending on what you get, you just want to rumble with them. For the most part, there's a lot of good commons like this. It's a 1 mana destroy a creature with 3 or less health, which early game is very powerful. And then this guy's a rare, but he's pretty good. Shield Bearer is also a fantastic card. I love Shield Bearer. Turn one. Well, you don't want to play it turn one unless if you coin a 1-drop and then play him. He gives a unit +1/+1, thus keeping it alive. And that unit that's now alive could possibly kill something on the opponent's side, thus giving you favor. So like a lot of a good one would be this one. So the wizard custom deck I have is basically all welcome and cores. Well, every deck I have is only welcome and cores, but very very simple. It's just kind of keep my 1 units alive, use the spells to destroy things, and yeah. And as you could tell, most of my decks don't go past 5. Like I only have 3 cards and 7 for this one. This one I only have 4 cards and 6 and 7. And also, as you can tell, like there's a lot of consistency. I have the same cards multiple times throughout. Again, I only have 4 here again, and everything else is here. Right now, deck building, 3 drops are really awkward. Like there's no real good 3 drops, and the reason behind it is because of the health stats. Like here, I have a 5 health and a 4 health, and then removal. Um, but like three attack doesn't really do much. Like yeah, it could kill this, it could kill this. But 1 health and 2 health could die to anything. So right now in the state of the game, 3 drops are just weird. You'd much rather save your gems to play a 4 drop, play 2 2 drops, play hero power and a 2 drop, things like that. So when you're deck building, 3 drops are just kind of awkward. 1 drops are good. These are the only ones I run. And 2 drops will always be good. Just the way of the game. And yeah, just always make sure you have good board presence. If you ever need help building a deck, feel free to ping me. I have done coaching in the past for card games, and I have done pretty well. On this account, I have hit Mythic. Currently, I'm not, just because it's for the rank weekend. it's like impossible to get cards when you're up against mythic players who have a lot of cards. So when deck building, just make sure you're doing well. If you need help, feel free to let me know. And yeah, feel free to let me know. And thank you. Bye.